Official call for submissions for GGTOW playlist that I'm going to be putting together. Hey, it's Prince of Queens, and I'm thinking that I need to start a GGTOW playlist of different people with channels that, you don't actually have to have a channel. You don't have to make any more than maybe one video. But I want people to know that there's a number of gay guys who are thinking that they want to go by the label, the tribalistic bracket, the prescriptive definition of GGTOW, which stands for gays going their own way, which personally, I don't identify that way exactly, but like other people would probably say that I am that kinda. But I am thinking to myself that there should just be a compilation somewhere of all the different guys that we know about that are saying openly that they're GGTOW, and I will make a playlist of all of them. So yeah, we have people like Feral Cat, we have this one guy that's in Sweden, we have Our Cat's Gay, we have Space Pan, not really sure if he calls himself GGTOW, but he certainly acts like he probably would be. There's maybe a few others, I can't remember. I'm the biggest channel out of all of them, so I will host this playlist, and yeah, you just have to make a video, talk about why you think gays going their own way is necessary and why you consider yourself a GGTOW. If you've never made a video before, it's really not very hard. All you got to do is get audio equipment, download some free software. If you have a Mac includes iMovie. That's how I made the first 400 of my videos. First 450 videos of mine were all made on everything that's free on Mac. It's super, super easy to make the quality of videos that I do. If you've noticed, the actual quality of my videos is not particularly high. It's not hard. You can totally do it. Totally do it. And yeah, so if you're not already aware of what GGTOW is precisely, I was talking to Katz about it, and we're going to elaborate upon this, the two of us, because he actually coined the phrase, but ultimately we agreed that GGTOW is sort of what happened when him and I really started talking a lot about the gay male community and how it needs to split away from feminism. And he came up with the name, but the idea was something that was already there. But it really just sort of happened when the two of us really started both talking about it with each other and making videos that we mutually appreciated from each other. That's when this thing became greater than the sum of its parts. That's when it could look to other gay guys that like, wait, there's multiple guys like me. It's not just this Prince of Queens guy. There's this other guy. And then turns out that there's these other guys. But there is some prerequisites for what being a GGTOW is. And, it's not necessarily just being some sort of an anti-feminist or somebody that doesn't like feminism. What it really is, and this is what we defined, I came up with 3 kind of rules of what this label really means. And that is, it is a label for gay men, cisgender, biological, guys with penises, born with penises, attracted to other men with penises primarily. Maybe you can be kind of bi, maybe you can occasionally date trans guys, but you have to be biologically male, mainly attracted to men. That's sort of the prerequisite of being GGTOW. Next is that GGTOW is explicitly focused on the self-betterment and the betterment of other homosexual males exclusively. That's the only thing GGTOW cares about. Now, you can identify as a GGTOW and care about other things, but when you do that, it's not a GGTOW action. So if you ever have a GGTOW club and you spend all your time doing stuff that, doesn't really have anything to do with gay men, well, it's just kind of a side project of your little GGTOW club. It's not really a GGTOW action, what you're doing. And then the third rule is simply that anybody who seeks to change the first 2 rules is not a GGTOW. That's it. So it's by gay men, for gay men, only gay men for the self-betterment of gay men, and anybody who tries to say otherwise is out. Simple enough, right? That's all GGTOW really is. And I think it is really necessary. We do need sort of a rallying point for how to define this. Currently, to escape from feminism, because feminism has kind of played the Pied Piper with the gay male community and said, yeah, we're the LGBT community. We care about you. We care about your rights, blah, blah, blah. Except for they don't. They don't at all. They care about putting us at the back of the bus and taking the money from the rich gay guys so that they can do whatever the hell they want with, I don't know, to advance their own political agendas and claim all the credit for everything, you know? That's a problem, and gay men need to start organizing to deal with that at the moment. But it would be the same kind of thing if, let's say, okay, so GGTOWs could potentially have temporary alliances with other demographics of people. Like, they could be friends with heterosexual MRAs. But let's say those heterosexual MRAs eventually, at some point in the future, decided to focus really, really hard on Christian traditionalism. And all of a sudden, being a MRA meant that you had to be a Christian traditionalist. Well, GGTOWs would have to separate from that too, because GGTOWs, Christian traditionalism, it's not really a gay-centric thing. That's just not really how it is. So it's just an autonomous bracket, tribalistic label for anybody who wants to have kind of a banner for things that are supposed to be explicitly, exclusively for biological gay men. That's what it is. And there's all sorts of guys that I see out there who could benefit from this. Funny story. Just today, literally just today. So I had to go meet a family member who was getting out of a medical procedure. Had to go meet them and have lunch with them on Capitol Hill, Seattle. Seattle, you know, Capitol Hill, Seattle, if anybody's ever been, is one of the gayest places. Maybe not as much as it used to be. I don't know where the gays all went. Like, is there some incredibly gay city that I don't really know about? Do they all live in Brooklyn? A lot of them do, actually. You go to Brooklyn, it's pretty gay these days. But Capitol Hill, Seattle is still quite gay. And maybe this is unrelated, and maybe it's just a funny story that I kind of wanted to tell anyway, because it is legitimately just funny. I was sitting there having lunch with my family member, and not one, not two, but literally 4 different professional dog walkers walked by. You know, people with like 6 or more dogs, like 8, 9 dogs, all on a bunch of leashes. They walked by us. 4 different ones. Every single one of them was obviously a gay guy. Every single one. And 2 of them, granted, were seemingly boyfriends because they both had their shirts off and they were really, really similar looking in terms of body type. And gay guys do that thing where they, you know, try to have sex with guys that look kind of like them, and that's why they look the way that they do. And it just seemed like they were probably boyfriends. So it's almost like 3.5 because, you know, but still 4 different professional dog walkers that were gay guys. And it was weird to me because I was thinking to myself, why is that? And then I was, you know, having further ramblings of my mind on my way back home and thinking, you know, for all the possible explanations for why that could possibly be. And one of the things that I came up with was that gay men have been left out in the cold because, you know, the left hates gay men. If you're in Seattle and you're a gay white guy, they all were white guys. It's probably kind of hard to find employment due to all of the affirmative action hiring that women are getting, and the fact that, you know, ultimately most places, like most corporate places, would probably prefer to hire heterosexual men overall just because gay guys are kind of weird and have a tendency to have drug and alcohol problems and stuff. So for the most part, I would say that places would probably prefer to hire straight guys. And, you know, if places are still hiring females, they're just salivating over the opportunity to hire even the most underqualified female, which if you live in a leftist urban mecca and you know a bunch of people on Facebook, it's not hard to come across these women who are just completely moronic, and yet they have high paying corporate jobs, and they brag about it all the time too. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a corporate PR specialist. Stop mansplaining to me, all right? And it's like, who hired you to do PR? You're an absolute moron and you're rude. But that's how things are. And I guess gay guys are walking dogs. and they don't have any idea what to do about it. And truthfully, I don't know what I can do about it anymore. I almost think that the use for me as Prince of Queens, like my mileage that I'm getting in terms of being a YouTuber, unless something changes, dude, things are rough for me right now. People, my videos are not getting substantial amount of traffic. It just really bad amounts of traffic. And when they do, weird things are happening. Like I posted a video a number of days ago about that lawyer in New York City, and it got close to 5,000 views so far, but not even 100 likes and not 100 dislikes, which is really strange because that means a lot of people are watching it, but allegedly not liking or disliking it, which I simply don't really believe. I'm also not seeing a bunch of the comments under my videos. Like I'll see a comment, it will turn into a comment thread, but then that comment will just kind of disappear. Though if I go through my notifications, I can still find the comment, and so it didn't get erased. So it's like they're hiding comments. I know that must be happening. People are still obviously getting unsubscribed from my channel. They're not getting notifications for my channel. Nobody ever sees my Twitter posts, ever, pretty much. There's like a handful of people that I interact with on Twitter regularly, and nobody else sees my tweets. Even people that, you know, would normally look for them. Like people that I like I had lunch with Benjamin Boyce, and he was like, yeah, I never see your tweets. No. And it's not like he has me unfollowed. People try to say, oh, Prince, you're not that important. They're not trying to mess with you. And it's like, okay, I guess I should just go cry. I guess I should just give up. It's like, yeah, Prince, go to Candy Mountain. Just give up. Just stop. Just give up on YouTube. And it is disheartening to, I have a lot going on in my personal life, dealing with, family members that have health problems and that kind of a thing. It's easy to kind of want to step away from YouTube, especially considering that there is not a whole bunch of things going on in the world that are super fascinating and easy to make videos about, to the point where a lot of really talented video makers are desperate for material. And so when a new event happens, some of the really talented people are on it, and they're all over it, and they cover it really well. So, you know, here I am really busy, and it's hard for me to get together content all of the time, which leaves me to largely talking about gay stuff. If you've noticed, I talk about two things these days. I talk about communism, and I talk about gay stuff. It's like my thing at the moment, which it's fine. There's a big audience for that, theoretically, I know, but they mostly haven't really found my channel, and YouTube certainly does not want them to. Certainly does not want them to. So what I'm thinking to myself is this. Maybe they can stop me. Maybe they can. But they can't stop you all. I can give you a signal boost, make your GGTOW videos, and maybe some of you will take off and it will become this awesome thing. I don't know, but I think that the more of us there are who are this type of, you know, maybe I am GGTOW. Like, I'm not offended by it. I just don't like labels, but it is an accurate description of sort of what I do at the moment. Even though the last time I went out to a bar, hung out with a lesbian at a gay bar, that was my friend that I went out to a bar with. It was a lesbian. She's not a feminist. But, you know, if you consider yourself a GGTOW, if you think that the whole idea of GGTOW is cool, then make a video. Hopefully you'll find other ones. Start having live streams with them. Hang out. Just talk like we do on the Gaytriarchy. And maybe you can come on the Gaytriarchy. It's not like a super exclusive club. I actually get really lonely, believe it or not, a lot of the time, for countless reasons. There's a lot of, like, I know a lot of people. I refuse to talk to a lot of people, and including on YouTube now, because YouTube has gotten so strange with all the drama that I largely just ignore it and, like, don't try to go on live streams anymore. Like, yeah, that's a thing, and I play video games, and but hey, I'm always game for just talking to gay guys about gay guy stuff and having gay guy banter like we do on the Gaytriarchy. That's fun. It's fun. So make your little GGTOW videos. I'll make a playlist of them. You'll meet the other guys. It'll be a thing. How about that? How about that? How about that?